Okay, so today we'll discuss about file handling in C. Okay, so you have created files in lab like your prime.c, okay, Fibonacci.c, such files you have created. Okay, so that means you have typed a program and you stored that program on the hard disk. And that place you are giving a name, and that is called a file. That is called a file. Okay, so you are storing that file with the name prime.c. Okay, so today we'll see what is a file. A file is a named collection of related data. It means all the related data, if you store at one place and give a name, that is called a file. And this file is stored on a secondary storage disk. Okay, so secondary storage disk is preferably your hard disk. You can store your file in compact disk, CDs and DVDs, pen drives. These are all secondary storage devices. Anywhere you can store. Okay, so what is the advantage of storing data in a file? That means once you create a file, that file is stored permanently on the hard disk. That means whenever you want, you can open that file and see the data. That is the advantage of creating a file. Okay, so generally some operations will perform on files. After creating the file, we perform some operations. What are those typical operations performed on files? That means we'll open a file, we'll read data from the file, we write data into the file, and finally, once we completed the task, we close the file. Okay, so these are the 4 operations generally we perform on files. What are those operations? Open, read, write, and close. Okay, so how a file is stored on the hard disk? Okay, so generally a file is stored as a sequence of bytes, logically contiguous. Logically contiguous means one after the other. Okay, so we assume that these bytes are stored one after the other logically, but may not be contiguous on the hard disk physically. Okay, so on the hard disk, it may be stored at different places. Okay, and all these places are linked by using a pointer, like a linked list we have seen. No? So that way, it will make logically as contiguous. Okay, so we'll see diagrammatically. I'll explain about storage of files on the disk. Okay, right. Now we have different files in system if you look into. Okay, so one is called text file and the second one is called a binary file. Okay, so text file means these files nothing but that contain letters, digits, and symbols. The text files are those files that contain letters, digits, and some symbols. Such type of files, that means if you open that file, if you see these things, you can call it as a text file. The text file is mainly in a form which can be read and understood by human beings. If you open the file, you can read the contents present in the file and you can understand the sentences present in the file. Such files are called as text files. Okay, so because they contain letters, digits, and symbols, and you can read them. Okay, so human understandable form, these letters are present, letters and digits. The text file mainly contains the ASCII characters. That means on the ASCII chart, whatever characters are present, they are stored in these text files. So examples of files like a.txt you have created, that is a text file. Okay, b.docx, a Word document if you create, then that is also a text file. Add.c, you have created a file. Okay, so all your .c files are text files, because when you open that text file, you can read the sentences or the statements present in that file. Okay, so printf, scanf, you can understand the meaning of those sentences. Similarly, .java file, test.java, all your programming files are examples for text files. Then we have other type of file, that is binary files. So binary files are those files that contain data in binary form with zeros and ones. That means all data will be in the form of zeros and ones only. That is called binary files. Okay, so these binary files generally they are in a form which can be interpreted and understood by a computer system. Please remember, binary files can be interpreted and can be understood by a computer system. That means human cannot understand these zeros and ones with their naked eye. Only computer can understand the meaning of these zeros and ones. That means binary files are not in human readable form. Text files are in human readable form. Binary files are not in human readable form. They can be understood by computer only. Okay, so binary file may contain non-ASCII characters. Examples, if you see your exe file, that means after creating your .c file, you compiled and you created your executable file. Okay, so that executable file is called exe file. Okay, so in Linux, you have a.out file. That a.out is your executable file, and that is an example for binary file. That means all the contents in that binary file will be in zeros and ones. Your audio file, .mp3 files, examples of binary files. If you open that in a word processor, you cannot understand. Maybe a song may be present in that. When you play that file, you will get the song. Okay, but when you open the file in a word processor, you cannot see that song. Okay, so that means the combination of zeros and ones can be understood by computer only. We cannot understand those zeros and ones directly. And your video files, .mp4 files, examples of binary files, images. Okay, all your photos, images, .jpg format images, all are examples of binary files. Okay, so if you open an image with image editor, then you can see the photo. But if you open with word processor, you cannot understand what is present in that one. Okay, so these are the two types of files, text files and binary files, and these are the differences between these two files. Okay, right. So having known different types of files, now how to create files we'll see. Okay, so one of the differences between text and binary files is that data contained in the text file can be read by a word processor. That is what I was mentioning. Okay, so it can be read by a word processor like your notepad. Okay, word document processor, MS Word. Okay, so those word processors can understand the text present in a text file, while the binary file data cannot be read by a word processor. If you open binary file with a word processor, it cannot understand that binary file. Okay, right. So we said that we can perform some operations on the files like open, read, write, and close the file. Okay, so for performing these operations, C developers have provided some predefined functions. Okay, using those functions, we can perform those operations. Okay, so those are called file handling functions. They are called as a file handling functions. What are those functions and purpose of each function? First, we'll understand. Then we use those functions in our program. Okay, so the first function is fopen function. So this function opens a file. This function opens a file. Voice is not coming up. Voice is not coming. Is it so? Is it problem to everyone? Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, good morning, sir. Yeah, is it the problem with everyone? Clear? Okay, then. Thank you. So if voice is clear, then I'll proceed. Right. Okay. So file handling functions. Fopen opens a file. Okay. So that means if we want to open a file, we use this fopen file open function. We call it as. Okay. So then fclose. If you want to close a file, and this is function fclose closes a file. Then get C function reads a character from a file. If you want to read one character from a file, we have get C function. You might have used getChar function. Okay, so getChar is to read a character from keyboard. If you want to read a character from the file, then we use this getC function. Then putC function writes a character to a file. One character you can write into a file. Then getW reads an integer from a file. Okay, so you can read one integer from the file. PutW writes an integer into a file. One integer number you can write into the file. We'll see example programs for all these functions. Don't worry. Okay, so first get the meaning of each file, name of the file, and their purpose or meaning. Okay, so then fprintf prints formatted output to a file. We have printf function which prints onto the monitor. Okay, but this fprintf writes output to a file. Fscanf reads formatted input from a file. Scanf reads data from the input keyboard. Okay, but fscanf reads data from a file. Okay, so from the file, if you want to read data, then fscanf you can use. Okay, so fgets reads a string of characters from a file. Gets function you have used to read string from the keyboard. So fgets reads string of characters from a file. Similarly, fputs writes string of characters to a file. Then feof end of file we call it as. Okay, so detects end of file marker in a file, whether the file ends or not. That is indicated by this f end of file. Okay, so these are the different file handling functions, and we'll read one by one. We'll use these functions in our C programming. What happens when we open a file, create a file? Okay, so in detail, we'll discuss about these files. Okay, so first, how to define and open a file. The general form of defining and opening a file is, this is the function. By using fopen function, we can create and open a file. Okay, so two functions. We can create a file and we can open a file. Both can be performed by using this fopen function. So for this, what you need to do is you need to define a pointer. See here, star fp I have created. Okay, so fp is nothing but file pointer. This is variable name. Okay, this pointer should be of which type? File type. In capital letters, you have to type file, file. This is the data type for this file pointer. Okay, so always you have to define a file pointer first. Okay, so then by using fopen function, you can create a file. Okay, so first argument is file name. You pass which file you want to create newly or already existing file. If you want to open, then give that file name here. In double quotes, you have to give because file name is a string, comma. Then second argument is mode. That means in which mode you want to open. Okay, so that means you want to open a file for reading, or you want to open the file for changing the contents or writing data into the file. That you have to tell to the compiler. Okay, so that second argument indicates that. We'll see that. Okay, so defining and opening a file can be done by using fopen function. Okay, so here fp is nothing but a file pointer. We call it as a file pointer. This variable fp indicates a file pointer. Okay, so mode. In second argument mode, I said, so mode can be one of the following. That means in second argument place, you can give these letters. If you write R there, that means you are telling the compiler that open the file for reading only. Just I want to read data from the file. If you try to make any changes, then it won't allow. That's how you can provide security. Okay. Similarly, W, if you open the file for writing only, So that means you can write data into the file. A, that means open the file, appending only. Appending means already there are some contents in the file and you want to add at the end. That is called appending mode. We'll see examples. Similarly, you can also use R plus symbol. R plus means open the file for both reading and writing. Now you can perform both operations. You can read the data and you can also write data into the file. If you say R, you can only read data. You cannot write into the data. Okay, but if you say R plus, both operations we can perform, reading and writing. Similarly, W plus, open the file for writing and reading. A plus, open the file for reading and writing. Any one we can use here. Okay, so in second argument place mode, we can give one of these letters, R, W, A, or you can use R plus, W plus, or A plus, depending on our purpose. Okay, right. Example, just see here. I have created two file pointers, star fp1 comma star fp2. And what is the type of these pointers? File type. So you have to define this type in capital letters, file. Okay, so that is predefined type. Already compiler knows its meaning. Okay, so then compiler understands that these two variables, fp1 and fp2, are two pointers of which type? File type, file pointers. We call them as a file pointers. Okay, so first I am trying to open a file. Input, my file name is, for example, input. Okay, so then second argument is R. That means I want to open this file for reading only. Already that means that file is existing. I want to read data from this file. So that's why the second argument R I am using here. In double quotes, you have to give the second argument, and the first argument file name also you should give in double quotes, and both pass as an argument to fopen function. F Yes, is it okay now?